Do you have a teen who's ready to set up on their own? These are 10 life skills that they need to know. First is how to budget for grocery shopping. This is something they're going to use on a weekly basis. This is the thing that can be the biggest problem in a new college student's budget. And so this is an opportunity for them to really save some money if they know how to budget beforehand. We have a list to a printable grocery shopping list below that a new college student can use to plan out their menu for the week and make sure they stick to their list when they go grocery shopping. This is such an important thing for teens to learn before they leave the house, so it's not quite so overwhelming when they head off to college or just move out on their own. The next thing is time management. This is definitely something that is helpful in the high school years, but it's going to be something that they use for the rest of their life. One thing that I like to have my kids use is study.com. It's an online learning platform, and they have some great videos that go over a lot of these important life skills that kids can do on their own time. These are all asynchronous, so kids can hop on whenever they have a second, and they have a phone app, so they can actually jump on, use their app, watch one video at a time if they need to. But they have a great course on time management activities for college students and another one for high school students that is well worth the time to go through it. If you click on the link below, you'll have the opportunity to save on a membership if you want to try it out for yourself and see what they have to offer. The next life skill is effective communication skills. And this is something that can be really challenging for teenagers who are digital natives and are more used to texting than talking in person. One of the things that I have found most effective for this is having teenagers get a part-time job after school, either in retail or fast food, because they have to interact with people on a regular basis with this. Working with people is going to give them the chance to talk to people that they don't know well. They're going to have to practice speaking professionally to people. This can be great practice for their future career or college life experience. For teens who want to go a little bit deeper, study.com is a great course about workplace communication. This is something that most adults should probably go through as well because they have some great tips, and this is something that is a challenge for a lot of people. The next life skill is how to manage your money. Again, this is something that teens are going to have to do for the rest of their life, so they may as well tackle it now while the stakes are low. They may make a few financial mistakes while they're living at home, but the stakes are really low when they have you to bail them out and they don't have a lot of expenses and they're not in a situation where they won't have enough money for food for the week. So give your teens a chance to start paying for some things now, whether that's car insurance, paying for their own car, their gas, whatever works for your family. Have them start practicing this now, and then when they move out on their own or go to college, it's not going to be quite as overwhelming of a task. Down below, we have a free printable budget worksheet. You can go through this with your teenager or have them do a sample budget of what their finances may look like when they're in college or after they've moved away from home. The next life skill is how to write a resume. This, again, is something that's going to be super important for their future. Most adults have to write hundreds and hundreds of resumes throughout their lifetime, and it's not something that a lot of teens have a lot of practice with, especially if they don't have a lot of previous job experience. What I recommend for teens who maybe only had one or two jobs is to do a skills-based resume. This lets them focus on any skills, programs they know, any achievements that they've had during their high school years, but it really helps them emphasize what their skills are. The next life skill is how to use public transportation. And now, if you live in an area that does not have a solid public transportation system, your teenager may not have practice with this. You never know if they're going to be going to college or traveling or somewhere where they're in a situation that public transportation is the only option. And so having a little bit of experience, even if it's just the basics beforehand, can really be helpful. What I like to do is go on a trip to a bigger city and let my kids kind of get some practice using the metro or using rideshare services or taxis and just getting some practice using some of those systems that they might not be as familiar with. The next life skill is basic first aid. Now, a lot of schools will go through CPR training with students, or if they've worked as a lifeguard or anything like that, they may have had some training through their job. But this is really important because you never know when you are going to need to have any kind of life-saving skills or basic first aid. Knowing CPR, getting CPR certified, knowing the Heimlich, those things can be life or death, and you don't know when you're going to need them. So having those skills beforehand can be super helpful, especially for teens who are getting ready to live on their own. Basic car maintenance is another life skill that everybody needs. And this could be as simple as knowing when you need to get an oil change and what you need to say and how to communicate with the people at the car dealership or the car repair places, because a lot of times, I know when I was a new college student, I didn't know a lot of the lingo. I didn't know what was expected. And I got ripped off at some of these car repair places because I wasn't aware of what was actually needed. So some of those places that are not completely honest will add on a lot of services that you don't necessarily need. Helping your teen understand what's needed, when it is needed, also how to change a tire if they don't have anyone to help them. knowing how to maintain your car well can actually save them a lot of money in the long term because their car will last longer and they won't have expensive repairs to deal with. Stress management is also a great life skill. Everybody should always be working on improving their stress management abilities because life is stressful. It's important for teens to figure out what helps them right now to deal with stress so that they can use those and have that knowledge to draw on later on when things really do get stressful. Now, the last life skill I want to talk about is a smaller one, but it is something that we are going to use all the time for the rest of our life, and that's how to do laundry without ruining your clothes. We all have probably had an experience in college where you threw in a red shirt and a load of whites or had a pen leak and you ruined a bunch of clothes. Now, college students are on a budget. They don't always have the funds to replace clothes that get ruined in the washing machine. So this is a really important one to know how to do laundry, how to maintain clothes if they have a stain on them, how to repair clothes if they get a tear or rip or something, if it's a higher quality clothing item that you need to repair. But going through the basics and understanding the basics of how to do laundry and how to do it well so that you can maintain your clothes, kind of the same way we did in your car, can really save them money long term. Hopefully, some of these life skills gave you a good starting place. There's obviously a lot more that teens can learn. Again, I highly recommend study.com. We'll have a link in the comments for you to go through. They have a lot of great courses, even if kids just want to go through individual videos on time management, financial management, how to write a resume, how to communicate in a workplace situation that can be really, really helpful for teenagers to start learning now. So check it out. If you click on the link below, you'll find out how you can save on a membership and give it a try for yourself to see if it's a fit for your family. Hopefully these tips help. We've got a link for some more information down in the comments below.